everyone, welcome back to Lab Games. Today we are going to play At the Gates of Loyang, published by Z-Man Games and developed by Uwe Rosenberg, who you may know from Agricola or Caverna. So At the Gates of Loyang is, yes, another farming game, but like most of Rosenberg's games, this one plays very well solo. And in fact, on Board Game Geek, this is probably one of the most, in my opinion, from what I've read recently, the most talked about best playing sort of solitaire game when it comes to just getting in a quick game, getting out. This game comes up an awful lot. So I thought I'd do a solitaire playthrough and you get a chance to see it. One issue about this game, though, is that it is no longer in print, so it is a little bit tough to find unless you're willing to pay a premium for it. So in any case, let's jump in, take a look at the playthrough, and see what you think. Okay, so we can get on with the setup, and as you see, this is really it as far as the player board goes. So this is really the majority of what we'll need to do a solitaire playthrough. So what we have here to set up the solitaire playthrough is we have our private fields, and there's two sets of 4 different fields shuffled up in our draw deck. We have our home field, which is what we start with, that can grow either wheat, pumpkin, or these radish looking things. So there's a whole host of vegetables, which those are called turnips, by the way. So there's a whole bunch of vegetables in this game. You have wheat, you have pumpkin, you have turnips, you have cabbages, beans, and leeks. So with all of that, and that's what you see here, right? This is our market. It is stocked, and it's going to be, this is what we have for the game that we're allowed to buy from the market. We have our path of prosperity, which is really just our victory point score. And what we're going to try to do is get as close to, if not to 20, which is definitely not going to happen. But we're going to try to shoot for like 17, 18, or 19, depending, if at all possible. So that's really the setup. Here we have our storehouse. We have our cart where we're going to get our vegetables after we harvest them. We're going to put them in the storehouse. Right now the storehouse can only store 1. If we pay $2, we can upgrade this to a 4-spot storage, which we will definitely do at some point in this game. Over here we're going to have places to put different types of cards, and we'll go through those types. There's 4 different types as we get into the playthrough. But that for the purpose of the setup, you need your private fields, your home field. You need to stock your market, get your storehouse card up. You've got your counter here for the path of prosperity. You've got your turn summary. We've also gotten 10 coins. So here's 5 and 5 ones. So that's what we start with, $10 for the game. Now we're going to have to go and set up our opponent's deck. Alright, so our opponent, I've just set him up here. He's got a similar setup to us, but we've got a deck of 70 action cards, and these action cards we have to turn over until we find specific ones that are required to stock our opponent. And this is just so that there is some way or some means of interaction for certain helper cards, which you'll see as we go along. But what we're looking for here are 2 market stalls, 2 regular, and 2 casual customers. We're going to keep flipping cards until we find them. So here we have regular customers. So there's 1. There's a market stall. Now we're looking for, so we got our 2 market stalls. We've got our 2 regular customers. Now we need 2 casual customers. And anything extra we flip, we're going to end up discarding. Right, I'm looking for casual customers here. And they're going to be red cards. Wow. There we go. So there's 1. And there's 2. Alright, so these are going to go in the discard pile for now. And we have the remainder of the draw deck. And we're going to set these up and then stock them. Alright, so I've laid out all of his cards, and the only thing we need to do now is for the market stalls, we need to take vegetable tokens and stock them on the cards, because there are certain helper cards that we could play later that may allow us to make do transactions with some of these cards at an opponent. So it's to simulate another player that we can play against. So that's it. They're set up, and now we have to set up our action card grid. All right, so on this side of my play area, I'm going to put out an action card grid. Now this is specific to the single player game, and it really replaces the whole card phase in a multiplayer game. So what you need to do is build a grid of 12 cards, so it's a 3x4, so that we basically just place out the cards in 4 rows of 3. And these are cards that we are going to be able to purchase throughout the game. So we've got the remainder of our action card deck. We've got our action card grid that we're going to be able to purchase cards from. And we have our discard pile. And the discard pile is going to get shuffled back into the deck once we discard our first field. And I'll show you what that means when it happens. But there it is. That's our action card grid. And basically what it's going to cost us to purchase is the top row is free. The second row is $1. And for the purposes of this playthrough, I'm going to call the money dollars. All right. So it's $0, $1, and then $2, right, for any of these bottom 2. After the card phase, the second row gets removed, everything slides up, and then we add more cards. So that's how this is going to stay fresh. That's it. That's all set. Now I think we just have to set up my field. All right, so to start off, what we have to do is we have to basically sow our field, and we get to choose one of the 3 types of crop that we can grow in this field, which would be wheat, pumpkin, or turnip. So what I think we'll do is we're just going to go with wheat. So what we have to do is we have to buy it from our market here, and the price is on the left, so it's 3. It's going to cost me $3. I'm going to take one, and I'm going to plant it up here. And now we fill in the rest of this home field with the same crop. So we're going to have 9 bushels of wheat populating this field. And what these are going to act as is our round marker. So once this field's empty, the game's over. So that indicates the 9 rounds that we play. So that is it. We are finished setting the game up, and we are ready to play. So let's go ahead and go through the phases one at a time, and then I'll show you how we play it. Okay, so the harvest phase is quite simple. Every harvest phase, and this is how we start the round, you turn over the next field, and now we have a field that can grow 4 crops. And this one is different in that it lets us grow cabbages and beans in addition to the other 3 types of crops. So as we go through this deck, we're going to start to be able to grow some of the more expensive stuff and hopefully fulfill some of our market orders that we get. So that's the first thing we do. The second thing we do is we harvest a vegetable from each field. So we'll harvest the first vegetable from our home field, which is one of these, and we'll put it in our cart. So we've got some wheat in our cart, and that's it. So we are done with the harvest, and now we can go into the card phase. All right, so the card phase, we basically are allowed to buy up to 2 cards from this stack, from this grid. And what the cards are going to do for me are different things. So I've got market stalls here, which will allow me to trade this amount of any vegetable to get one of these in return. And you can do that once for each vegetable, and that card goes away. You've got these casual customers who are coming for a one order, basically. You fill that order, you get paid. Simple enough. These are your return customers, right? So what these guys will do is they're more like a regular customer, right? They're gonna go for the long haul. We'll say we've got 4 orders to fill, right? They're gonna come back every week and kind of bulk up on this stuff. And for each order, we'll collect money from the bottom up every time we fill it. And if we don't fill it, they're gonna start getting angry, and we're gonna start getting penalized money for that. All of these sort of tan cards are helpers, and what they do is they each have a unique ability. So I'm gonna look through the cards real quick and determine which 2 I think are gonna be best to start with. Because I don't see any really good ones that I want at this point. Alright, what I think I'm going to take is first the con man, and this helper I can use him, and what he'll do is he'll let me swap him for another helper from the offer, which will let me basically get like a $2 helper for the cost of for free. Because there's really nothing up high that I want. I don't want to spend a lot of money this round. So the next thing I want is this. It's going to cost me $1 or $1, and mainly because I want to get the cabbage from this. So this is a market stall. I'll show you how that works. All right. So we take the 2 cards we just purchased and we will place them in our player board. So we put all of our market stalls go up here. All of our helpers go here. Regular customers go here, and our casual customers go here. And every time we purchase a market stall and put it into play, we have to populate the crops. So we'll put 1 wheat, 1 cabbage, and 1 leek, so that we can keep track of when we trade with that particular market stall. After I purchase my 2 cards, the second row gets discarded. Everything shifts up, and now we fill in the remainder of the grid, and that's ready for next round. Okay, once we finish the card phase, we can jump into the action phase. And the action phase is where basically the core of the game comes into play. Now, we're allowed to do a number of different actions as many times as we'd like, with the exception of one of the actions, which is buying a 2-pack. And I'll explain exactly what that is in a second. But for the action phase, we're allowed to do, in any order, we're allowed to sow vegetables as seeds. So I could take any vegetables in my cart or my storehouse and sow them into an available field and then grow that particular crop there. I could buy a vegetable from my shop. I could sell a vegetable to my shop as long as there's enough space to accommodate that particular vegetable. I can use my market stalls to trade any one of my or 2 of my vegetables, depending on the price, for any one that is available in that market stall. I can make a delivery to a regular customer. I could serve a casual customer. And basically that's it. And at the end of this turn, all of our vegetables that weren't used, if there's space, get stored in our storage shed. And that's it, basically. So I think for my first action, what I'm considering doing is buying a 2-pack. So it's going to cost me the amount of the greatest or largest pile or largest stack of market stalls or workers. So if I had 2 market stalls, it would cost me 2. If I had 2 con men, it would cost me 2. But since the highest one is only a 1, it's only going to cost me $1. So I'm going to pay $1, and I'm going to grab a 2-pack. And a 2-pack really just lets me draw 2 action cards off the top of the stack and keep 1, 2, or none of them. So I'll show you how that works. All right, so I basically just go and I grab the top 2 cards, and we have a regular customer and a casual customer, and I have to decide whether I want to keep 1, both, or none of these cards. Okay, so I think I want to keep both. I think I can work with the turnip field. I just have to get growing some turnips, and they're pretty cheap, and they can grow on pretty much any field, so that's not a bad thing. But I'm not ready for that yet, because the minute you play these regular customers, you got to start fulfilling their needs. The casual customers, you don't need to do that. They can kind of hang and chill out until you're ready. But I don't get to play them both. I have to choose which one I want to play first, and I'm going to play him first, and that goes on top of this one. And we place it down in the top guy's section. So once he's spent, that activates this second card. So he's going to sit here and waiting until we fulfill that market order from the casual customer. But that's my 2-pack action, and I can only do that once per turn. And it kind of gives me some extra stuff here. So that's sort of setting me up for my next move, which I think I have $5, and I'm probably going to spend none of it. Not yet. So what I'm going to do for my next action is going to be to do a trade. I'm going to trade my 1 wheat, because it's only going to cost me 1 for this cabbage. So this wheat goes in the supply now. It's out of the game. And I take this cabbage and it goes in my cart. And from the cart, it's going to go and I'm going to plant it, right? So now I'm going to do a sow action. And all this stuff can be done in any order you want to do it. So I'm going to sow this field, and now it's going to grow cabbage. So I'm working towards filling him, but not quickly. I just want to get sort of the right stash going. So that is going to cost me nothing, which is good. I'm going to spend $2. So I'll get 3 change. I'm going to upgrade my field. Not my field, my storage shed right now. So now I can store 4 in there. Do it now, get it out of the way. And I'm going to spend my last $3. So at the end of every turn, it's the end of action, right? So any vegetables I had in my cart left over, I would store them. And now I can move the scoring marker. I can move it no matter where I am. The first move I do at the end of that turn is only going to cost me $1. So I go from 1 to 2. If I want to move again, I got to pay the cost of the next space. The next space is a 3. I only have $2. I'm not moving again. So that's all I can go this turn, and that's going to end my action phase. So that's it. That's round 1. All right, remember, rounds always start with harvest. That's how we keep track of where we are. So we put out another field. It's perfect. Let's open on what I'd get. So remember, we take 1 crop from each of our fields, and they go to our cart. Bang. So we're set. And now we go into the card phase. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is take these 2 guys off the top. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So take those, we get rid of these, get rid of the second row, move everybody up. And then fill it up. Alright. Very good. Alright. Alright, we're going to put our market stall here. And we have another casual customer. We're going to put our pumpkin, our bean, and our leek. And we're all set. So that's the end of the card phase. Now we can jump into the action phase. So, what do I want to do? Well, I think I want to plant a field, that's for sure. But I don't have much money, unfortunately. So what can I do? Can I trade? Can I make some trades from it? No, jeez. Okay, so I don't really have much money at all to do this round, so I think what I'll end up doing, I don't want to do a 2-pack, do I? It'll cost me $2 and it might not get me anything. Well, see, what I want to do is I want to plant those radishes, but I can't afford them right now. And I mean, I could sell one of my wheat, but it's only going to earn me $1, and that'll get me 3. I need 5 for a turnip, because remember I got these turnips under here. But I have 1 cabbage. I have a cabbage and a hay. So next round I could do that. So I could probably go big next round. Maybe not this round. Maybe not this round, but I could do a trade in the meantime. So I'll trade one of my wheat for this pumpkin. Bring the pumpkin here. Now I could grow pumpkins. That might not be a bad thing. But I only have 1 customer who needs a pumpkin, so it's really not worth going for a pumpkin at this point. So for a pumpkin patch rather. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll pay $1. I'll move my guy up 1 more space, and we're going to end our turn. So it's a pretty timid turn. All of these vegetables, they go into storage now. I can hold up to 4. So that is it. So we've got them moved over, and we are ready to move into the next round. All right, back to the harvest. So we put out another field. We harvest 1 of each vegetable. And now we get to buy more cards. Okay, I think I'm going to take my first regular customer. This is going to be tough, but this will be my first one, so that's free. And I'm also going to take, I'm going to take this trader, I think. Take this trader. So those are the 2 I'm taking. And we are going to reset the board now. good there. And we'll go back to placement. Alright, so I've got my trader and I've got my regular customer now. Now right now my regular customer is happy. If I don't make a delivery this round, she's not going to be so happy. But it's okay, I can do that once. Do it twice and I got problems. So what I think I'm going to do for my first move is probably fulfill my order here. So I had these 3 vegetables. Right? So I'm going to fulfill his order. Now, normally he would pay me $9, as this card says. Right? $9. Now it's got a plus or minus 2. Right? So that plus or minus 2 is basically if the amount of casual customers is greater than regular customers, I take a $2 penalty. So because they're greater than my regulars, I have to take 2 off of that. So he's only worth $7. But you know what? It's $7 more than I had, so I'll take it. So $7. So now I've got $8 in total. But that was my first move. I took care of that. That's good. But now I have to decide how I want to handle her. I think I have an idea. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my pumpkin and I'm going to trade it here. And I'm going to take, actually no, I can't do that. I'm going to trade it, I'm going to have to do it this way because that's going to require 2. But I've got this trader and I'm going to play him now. So trade 1 vegetable at another player's market stall. Right? If you do this in round 8, I got to pay for it, but it's not. It's round 3. So trade 1 vegetable at another player's market stall. So this gets discarded, and I'm going to trade for this because what I want to get is a bean. So I'm going to trade my pumpkin, 1 pumpkin, for 1 bean. Cheap. Got it on the cheap. All right, with that bean, I'm going to plant it here because I can plant it on that field. And so I'm going to sow a bean field, and that's going to help me fulfill that request, hopefully. With $5 more, I think, you know what? No, I'm going to use my con man now. And what he's going to do is he's going to, for the solo game, I can swap this helper for a helper from the offer. And what I'm going to swap him for is this subsistence farmer, who for the solo game is going to, for $1, I get to buy 1 wheat, 1 pumpkin, or 1 turnip from the supply. So I'll put my con man here, and I'm going to use my subsistence farmer. Alright, so my subsistence farmer goes here, but I'm going to immediately use him. And for $1, I could buy a wheat, a pumpkin, or a turnip. So I am going to buy a turnip. And then I'm going to put that in my cart. And then immediately, I am going to plant it. So I was able to get turnips that normally cost $5 for $1, so that I could plant this field and get ready for that regular customer that's going to be coming probably sooner than later. So that was good. That's the end of my turn. I think that's all I want to do for now, and I will actually start moving my score marker. Alright, for $1, we're going to move up 1, and for 5 more, we're going to move up to the number 5. So we are on our way to prosperity. Now if I ever run out of money, I can always take out a loan. And a loan is going to give me $5, but at the end of the game, for each loan I have, and you can't pay these back, they're permanent. Once you take it, at the end of the game, for every loan I have to move back 1 space, and that's, to me, it's not worth it right now if I can get away with not having to do that. So that's it. Let's jump into the next round. All right, we begin with a harvest. So I put out another field, a nice big field, and we're going to take 1 crop from each. All right, so all of these crops go into my cart. And now we get to move to the card phase. Alright, now, since I didn't fulfill her order on the round that she entered play, she becomes disgruntled or unhappy. So now that turns red. If I don't fulfill her first order again, I have to pay $2. I get fined. So if I don't have the money to do that, I have to take out a loan. It's the last thing I want to do. So I have to be careful. All right, so what I think I'll do this round is I'm going to take the shopper, and I'll put him in my board, and I'm also going to pay $1 and take the maid, because I may need her. And that's it. So I've got to refresh the board. These two go. Everybody slides up. And we fill it back in. Alright, so first things first, I've got to get her order filled this round, because it's going to be a problem if I don't. So that goes there. I take $6 from the bank, so I'll collect my 6, and we're keeping her at bay, so that's nice. I would at some point like to fill this guy in as well, but I think we need to plant some stuff here. So I think we probably I need a pumpkin, and a pumpkin is going to cost me $4 right now. So shoot, I do need to buy a pumpkin though, because I gotta. See, I want to fill him in, but damn. So as you can see, this is not easy. I can't trade for it either. So what I'll do is probably just buy the pumpkin. I'll use my shopper. I didn't want to use it on a pumpkin, but basically buy one vegetable from the supply, not from the shop. The vegetable costs 2 less than it would in the shop. So basically, whatever I buy here is going to cost me 2 less. So the pumpkin's only going to cost me $2. I'll put a 5 in and take 3 change. And I actually get to take that from the supply, not from my market, my store, and put it here. So I know I'm going to have problems fulfilling his order because she's taking up those parts automatic. So what I can do is I'm going to use my maid, and she's going to let me trade a 1-to-1. So I'll trade just one crop, my wheat, here to take a bean. So now I've got a bean. What do I want? Do I want to grow more pumpkins? Pumpkins might not be a bad idea. The problem is there's just no pumpkin. Yeah, you know what? I don't think I want to do that. I think I'm going to wait on that. So actually, you know what? That might not be a bad idea to plant the pumpkin. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to plant this pumpkin. To heck with it. I'm planting it. So we're going to sow the field. If I don't need pumpkins, then oh well. But I think I can use them. I'll come up with a way to use them. So, bang. There's our pumpkins. That's that. We're going to end the turn, so that goes into storage. I'll work on filling his order next time. She's good for now. I'll pay 1 to move up to the 6th spot. I don't have 7 more bucks, so I can't go to the 7th spot. But that ends it. We'll jump into the harvest phase. Alright, so we're running out of room here for my fields. Let me just scooch everything over a little bit. Alright, so we turn the next field. And we take the crops. So we've got quite a bounty. Alright, so we've got our first field going off the board. Okay, so that's going to go in our discard pile there. And these are all going to slide down now. So what that means is that we now shuffle the discard pile into the action deck. So that's our harvest phase. Let's go back to the card phase. Alright, so like I said, this discard pile gets shuffled back into here. Alright, so for this card phase, what I think I'll do is I will take, I'm going to pay $1, and I'm going to take this regular customer. And I know that's crazy, and I'm probably going to pay for it. But that is what it is. So my next one is I'm going to take this casual customer. So these go in the discard now. Everybody slides up, and I will go ahead and refill it now that we have a full deck of cards here. Alright, that's it for the card phase. Alright, so we've got another casual and another regular. And that regular is going to start out happy. And I've got to fulfill her order this round now. So now that we're on the action phase, I got to decide how I want to do that. But first things first, let's start with this regular customer. I know we have the crops to do it, so let's go ahead and do it. And I'm going to make $7. So I will collect my 7. 5, 6, 7. Now that these are even, I will collect the full payment on these if I do them. So I would need a pumpkin, a cabbage, and a bean. I have a pumpkin and a bean right now. So I just need a cabbage. Can I trade for cabbage? No, it doesn't look like it. So I'll have to buy cabbage. I'll pay $5 because I want to get rid of this thing. I'm going to buy a cabbage for 5 and fulfill this order. And I'm going to get 10 flat, no bonus. So I'm going to get $10 back because we're even. Alright, and he goes away. And now this gets activated and comes up here. She slides over and he starts out happy. Oh, I just so happen to have 2 radishes in my storage or in my cart. So I'm going to make $5 right off the bat. So we're pulling the money now, right? I still have to fulfill her this turn. So I think I'm going to have to. I only have 1, so I'm going to have to buy 1. And that's not a big deal. So it's going to cost me $3 to buy 1. So I'll pay 3. I'll buy a hay. Now we have 2 hay. We'll do that here. And I mean, I didn't have to do that. I could have let her get mad, but I'd rather her wait. You know what? Let's go back. I'm going to take my $3 back, and I'm going to keep this, but instead I'm going to actually plant it and hope that next round and every round thereafter I can go ahead and fulfill her without worrying, because I have a new income of hay. So she's going to get mad this round, but it's not going to penalize me yet. Alright? I think we're good there. There's not much else I want to do, so let's go ahead and slide up. So we'll pay 1 to slide up 1. We pay 8, 5, 6, 7, 8 to slide up to the 8. And do I want to go to the 9? Not yet. I think I'll hold off. I'm going to keep this $10 in case I need it. I've got $10 left. Right? So I've got the right amount of fields. Perhaps we got 4 more rounds left. And I think I have the right engine going here to really push for the next 4 rounds. So let's see what happens. Alright, so we're going to start the harvest. Turn a field, and then we harvest. Alright, so there's our harvest. Not too bad. And we get to go to get some cards. I don't know if I want a 2-pack. I might. Nah, it's kind of dangerous. Alright, what I'll do is I'm going to take the top 2. So the merchant will let me buy for $1 one of any vegetable that you must deliver at least twice to a regular customer. So that should help me fulfill some orders this round. And I'll take an official, which will let me buy a 2-pack for free. So that's that. I'll get rid of these guys. I don't need any more customers right now. No more customers. Alright, so that's the end of the card phase. Alright, so let's see what we can do here. I don't have any more cabbage, so that's going to be a problem, I think. Oh boy. Okay, so I do have a bean. So what I could do is, you may buy for $1 one of any vegetable that you must deliver at least twice to your regular customers this round. So I will buy a cabbage for $1 using my merchant. So trade in one of my 5s, grab 4 change. So I paid $1. I'll take some cabbage and I'll combine it with my bean and I'll fulfill this next order. Alright, and that's going to pay me $8. 1, 2, 3, and a 5. Alright, so that's $8. She's happy. I need 2 hay. I will give her her 2 hay. $4. I'll trade in a 1, get a 5. Now she's content. Now I need a turnip, and I only have 1. So what do? I'm probably just gonna buy one. Well, he's actually, I could make him angry. Let's make him angry this round. We'll take this round off. Because I think I would like to get some more cabbages, more turnips rather, planted if I can. So I could plant this field, not ideal, but it's something. You know what, let's go ahead and do the 2-pack. I'm going to go ahead and turn this in. I'll take the top 2 cards off the deck. Let's see what they are. I can keep 0, 1, or 2 of them. Woo, that's not what I wanted to see. I'm going to keep 0. I don't want any of them. I was hoping I was going to pull a field, because if I would have got to expand my field, I could have probably grown some more radishes. But I think instead I guess I should plant them, right? Otherwise I'm going to be suffering. I'm going to have to find a way to get another cabbage next round. It's going to hurt me because I'm out of cabbages in my store and I can't trade for them, so I'll have to get a market stall that has it, which is fine. I can do that next round. So do I want to get some more turnips while I'm at it? Because I'm going to be short turnips for 3 rounds. I think I will. I'm gonna go ahead and sow my turnip field up here, and I'll throw 2 more in, and that should take care of him. And I'll work on him soon enough. Soon enough. All right. So this is going to go over here. I'll pay $1 to move up a space to 9. I'll pay $10 to move up to 10. All right. So we're moving along. And that's going to end this round. Let's go to the harvest. Alright, so we're sliding down. This will be the last harvest for one of these fields at least. Alright. So we pull another field and we will take 1 from each. Alright, this guy goes away. That field is gone. Slide these down. And they go into my cart. Now we can go to the card phase. Alright, so I need to trade for my leeks. I'm going to pay $1 to take this one for sure. Now I've got a market stall. I mean with cabbages. I don't know why I keep calling them leeks. And I think this action you may exchange 1 at 1, a 1 for 1. Let's take her. Let's take her. Alright, so I took 2 cards. That's that. This goes away. These go up. And we'll fill the bottom and we are set. Yeah, and I took her from the second round, so I forgot I got to pay $1 for her too. So that's that. I didn't fill this up, so we're going to need to put a pumpkin, a cabbage, and a bean on here. And we're good. So what do we want to do? I think we need to start fulfilling these. So first thing, let's see who we can fulfill first. So I can put these 2 here, get $6 for that. Let's get that out of the way. The hay, that's easy. Take $5. Thank you very much. And now I have a bean, but I need cabbage. So I'll trade a pumpkin here for cabbage, and I will do cabbage. This is done. That's $9. I'll take 10 and get 1 back. And she is done. So this regular customer has been completed. So she gets discarded. These two slide over, and I still have 1 pumpkin in storage. So I think I have to decide what I want to do now. So I'm out of beans, but I'm not out of pumpkin. So I'm going to hold off. I'm going to leave things the way they are now. I would like to grow. I'd like to grow something in that field, but I'm not sure what I need. I have enough hay for that, or wheat for that. I have enough turnips for that, and I'll be able to fill this. So I think the next few rounds I should be okay. So that's good. So let's go ahead and move our token. So we'll pay 1 to go to 11. I'll pay 10, 11, 12 to go to 12, and I've got 15 left. Do I want to go to 13 for 15? I think I'm going to hold it, and I'll push it next round. So let's see how this goes. All right, harvest phase. Here we go. So slide these guys down, flip you up, and let's start taking our veggies. All right, so we've got our harvest, and that's it. Let's go to the cards. All right, what do I want to do? I think I'm going to take the haggler for free and the subsistence farmer for 1. So I'll pay 1 for him. These go away. This goes up. Fill the board again. All right, let's see what we can do here. So I know I've got enough for them, but I'm going to need to buy or trade for a bean, but I don't have. So let's see, the subsistence farm or the haggle, they'll let me buy stuff here. So I want to buy that, I'm going to trade for that bean, but I got to see if there's a way for me to buy something cheap. So only once buy 2 vegetables of the same kind in your shop for the price of 1. Combined with the shopper, well, I don't have the shopper, so I can buy 2 vegetables of the same kind in your shop for the price of 1. So if I pay, say, if I pay $3, I'll get 2 wheats. So we'll use him. I'll pay $3, that's fine. And I'll take 2 wheats from my shop. All right, but one of these wheats I'm going to trade here for a bean, and we'll bring the bean over here. And the reason I wanted to do all that is because I want to complete this contract. Because basically, what this is telling me is that if my casual customers are less than my regular customers, I get a +2 bonus. So that's going to be 11 to fulfill this. So, because she's so happy that I'm willing to give her the time with so much business, with my regular customers, that she's going to pay me, $2 tip, and I'm okay with that. So I'll eke a few more bucks out of that transaction, but I still got to fulfill these. So let's go ahead and put in our 2 wheat, and that's going to give me $5. And we're going to put in our 2 turnips, which is going to give me $6. So everybody's still happy. We're fulfilling our needs, or their needs. That's good. I still have a piece of hay left over, and I think that's okay. I want to keep that, or do I want to grow something? Oh boy. Okay, so let me see what's out here. I got that. I could do some pretty good things in my next turn if I play this right. I could do some good things if I do this right. So let's see. buy 1 wheat, 1 pumpkin, or 1 turnip from supply for $1. I'm going to use my subsistence farmer again. So I'm going to do that, pay $1, and I'm going to buy a pumpkin. Alright, bought a pumpkin, and I'm going to immediately plant it in this field. Alright, and I do have another field I could plant if I wanted to for this last round, but I don't think I need to. No, I think I'm alright. Okay, so that's it for that. Let's go ahead and move our score now. Alright, we're getting high on the chart here. I've got 10, 20, 32 bucks to spend. So for the first $1, I get to move up to 13. Now I need to move up, pay 14, so I'm going to pay 15, take $1 back to move to 14. I've got 15 more. Do I want to spend it? I think I do. So I'm going to spend 15 and move up to 15. Alright, so this is it. Last round. Alright, so we're going to do our final harvest here. 1 crop from each field. That's that. We get a whole lot of crops here, so let's see about getting some cards. Okay, so what I'm going to do is pay, I think, one of my remaining $2 to buy a casual customer, because actually, is that the one I want? Yeah, I think that's the one I want. Yep. Alright, I have $1 left, so I can buy any of this, and I don't think I want any of it, so that's that. Man, this is not good. This is not good because I needed another $1 and I don't want to take a loan out, so, but it is what it is. So, okay, that's it. These go away. These all slide up. And it really doesn't matter because this is the end of the road. Alright. Alright, so I took her because I wanted to complete that if I could. And I'm not really, I wanted to see if I could squeak a little bit more money off it, but I don't think that's going to be possible. So let's go ahead and finish her. And she's going to pay me $7. So I've got 7 here. And she comes off the board. And I need a bean. So I'm going to pay 6 of that 7 for a bean. This is crazy, but I need to do it. So I'm going to fulfill her contract now. And I'm going to trade in a hay here for a leek. So I get a leek, a bean, and a pumpkin. So that completes her. And she's going to give me 11 because we're even. So it's 10, 11. And my last 2 wheat will go to her, and she'll pay me the final payout of $6. So that is that. That's it. So that's all I could do. Let's go to the movements and see how much movement I can buy. Alright, I have 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 bucks. So my first one is going to move me to 16. And 5, 10, 15, 16, 17 is going to move me to 17. I have $1 left. So I finished on 17. And 17 is a good player, according to the rules, right? 18 is a really good player, and a 19 is like master player. If you hit 20, then you are master at the gates of Loyang. You are just, you've played a perfect game. So that's it. That's the playthrough. I hope you enjoyed At the Gates of Loyang. You could see it plays very fast. It's very simple. It flows well. It's definitely an awesome solitaire experience. Glad I was able to get a hold of a copy. But you know, if you have it, you know, I'm sure, you know, dust it off, play it. It's a really good game. So thanks for watching. Please point out any rules mistakes you see, in the comments, and if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe, and I will see you next time.